Chosenness. Everything starts in the mind. Everything. The way you think, the way you see the world, the way you perceive yourself. That's the foundation of everything you will ever achieve. The truth is, most people never reach the level of wealth and success they desire because they never develop the mindset required to sustain it. They spend their lives waiting for a lucky break, blaming their circumstances, and making excuses for why things aren't working out, instead of shifting their mindset and stepping into the version of themselves that attracts wealth naturally. The ones who make it, the 1%, the chosen few, they don't think like everybody else. They don't move like everybody else. They see things differently, and because they see things differently, they get different results. Most people believe wealth is something that happens to you, something that's given to you, something you stumble into if you're lucky. They see success as something outside of themselves, something that only happens for other people. That's why they never get it, because deep down, they don't actually believe they deserve it. They don't see themselves as the kind of person who creates massive wealth, and as long as that belief exists, their actions will always reflect it. They'll hesitate when opportunities show up. They'll doubt themselves when challenges arise. They'll make choices that keep them stuck in the same cycle, never fully stepping into the abundance that's already waiting for them. But the 1%, they don't see wealth as something external. They don't see success as something that might happen if the conditions are right. They know without a doubt that success is inevitable, that money is just a reflection of their mindset, their energy, their decisions. They move as if it's already done, as if the life they want is already theirs. And because they move that way, the world adjusts to match them. Opportunities start appearing. The right people start showing up. The money starts flowing, not because they're lucky, not because they're special, but because they refuse to operate at any other level. This is the difference. This is why some people keep struggling year after year, while others seem to rise effortlessly. It's not about talent. It's not about intelligence. It's not about where you were born or what resources you started with. It's about the way you think, the beliefs you hold, the energy you carry, because your entire life is a reflection of your internal world. If you believe money is hard to get, it will be. If you believe opportunities are rare, they will be. If you believe you're not worthy of massive success, you will find ways to prove yourself right every single time. The chosen ones, the 1%, understand this on a deep level. They know they have to condition their mind to expect wealth, to expect success, to expect opportunities, not with arrogance, but with absolute certainty. They train themselves to think differently, to see money differently, to move differently. They don't ask, what if it doesn't work? They ask, what if it does? They don't fear failure, because they know failure is just a stepping stone. They don't hesitate to invest in themselves, because they understand that the best investment they will ever make is in their own growth. They don't wait for permission, because they already know they're worthy. This is the secret. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's not about having all the answers. It's about making the decision, right now, that you will no longer think like the 99%, that you will no longer allow fear, doubt, or external circumstances to dictate what you believe is possible, that you will step into the mindset of the 1%, operate as if wealth is already yours, and move with the confidence of someone who knows that success is inevitable. And here's the thing, when you truly lock into this mindset, when you fully embody the belief that you are already chosen, already successful, already worthy of massive wealth, everything starts shifting. The people around you start treating you differently. The opportunities you once overlooked start becoming obvious. The way you make decisions becomes sharper, more aligned, more powerful. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop hesitating. You stop waiting for life to hand you something, and you start taking what was always meant for you. This is the power of mindset. This is why the 1% continue to rise, while everyone else stays stuck. They don't see themselves as victims. They don't wait for someone to save them. They don't let their past define their future. They decide, every single day, that they will create the life they want, no matter what. And because they move with that level of certainty, the universe responds. Money flows to them. Success follows them. Opportunities chase them down. Most people will never experience this shift because they're too attached to their old ways of thinking. They're too conditioned to believe in struggle. They're too afraid to let go of their limitations. They would rather stay in the comfort of what's familiar, even if it's keeping them broke, than take the risk of thinking differently. But the ones who do, the ones who break free, the ones who decide to rewire their minds, to see wealth as something natural, something expected, something inevitable, they change everything. They step into a reality that most people only dream about. And the best part? It's not just about money. It's about freedom. It's about stepping into a version of yourself that is powerful beyond measure. It's about knowing that you are in control, that you are the architect of your own life, that you have everything you need within you to create whatever you desire. Once you understand this, once you truly embody this, you stop playing small. You stop waiting. You start living at a level that most people can't even comprehend. And that's what separates the 1% from everybody else. Not luck, not privilege, not talent. Mindset, belief, absolute certainty. And once you make the decision to step into that, everything changes. Money is always moving, it never stops. Every second of every day, transactions are happening, deals are being made, wealth is being transferred from one person to another. The question isn't whether money is available, it's whether you are in position to receive it. Most people don't understand this. They think wealth is something rare, something that only a few lucky people get to experience. They see money as something distant, something that happens to other people, never realizing that it is flowing all around them at all times. The problem isn't that money is unavailable. The problem is that most people are not ready to receive it. Being ready doesn't mean wishing for it. It doesn't mean hoping for it. It means preparing yourself mentally, strategically, and energetically to attract and sustain wealth. Most people think they want money. But if you really looked at their mindset, their habits, their decisions, you'd see that they're actually rejecting it every single day. They have limiting beliefs about money. They think it's hard to get. They think it's evil. They think having a lot of it makes you greedy. And because they believe these things, money stays away from them. The ones who receive unexpected payments, the ones who become millionaires, the ones who attract wealth effortlessly, they don't think like that. They don't see money as something scarce. They see it as energy, as a tool, as something that flows to those who are prepared to handle it. They respect money. They understand it. They create value, and in return, money finds them. That's why the 1% keep winning. It's not that they're hoarding all the money. It's that they've positioned themselves in a way that attracts it. You have to ask yourself, are you really in position to receive wealth? Not just get it, but keep it, grow it, multiply it? Because wealth isn't about getting lucky one time. It's about being ready consistently over and over again. That's why so many people who win the lottery or come into sudden wealth lose it all within a few years. They weren't prepared for it. They didn't have the mindset, the habits, or the strategy to sustain it. Money came to them, but they weren't aligned with it, so it left just as quickly. This is why preparation is everything. The people who are truly wealthy didn't just wake up one day with millions in their account. They spent years getting ready. They trained their minds to think differently about money. They developed skills that allowed them to create value. They built networks that gave them access to opportunities. They studied, they learned, they positioned themselves in ways that made wealth not just possible, but inevitable. Most people don't do this. Most people spend their time complaining about what they don't have, instead of preparing for what they could have. They say they want wealth, but they spend their time on distractions. They say they want success, but they refuse to invest in themselves. They say they want financial freedom, but they make choices that keep them in financial struggle. And then they wonder why money isn't coming their way. The truth is, money is only looking for one thing: people who are ready for it, people who can handle it, people who will use it to create, to build, to expand. That's why some people seem to attract money so easily, while others can never seem to get ahead. It's not about intelligence. It's not about where you come from. It's about positioning. If you're not in alignment with money, it won't come to you. If you don't understand how to use it, it won't stay with you. If you don't respect it, it won't grow for you. Think about this. Right now, there are billions of dollars being transferred, invested, exchanged. Money is moving constantly, flowing through businesses, into investments, through digital transactions. Every single day, money is changing hands. The question isn't whether money is moving. The question is whether you are in its path. Are you in a position where wealth can flow to you? Have you developed the skills, the mindset, the strategy to receive it? Or are you blocking it without even realizing it? The ones who receive unexpected payments, the ones who see financial breakthroughs, the ones who step into wealth, it's not an accident. It's not luck, it's alignment. They've positioned themselves so that when money is moving, it naturally flows to them. They've built businesses, made investments, created opportunities that allow them to be in the right place at the right time. But it's not just about physical positioning. It's about mental positioning. It's about expecting wealth. About thinking in terms of abundance instead of scarcity. About believing that money is a natural part of life instead of something rare and difficult to get. That's the biggest difference between those who succeed financially and those who don't. The ones who struggle with money see it as something they have to chase, something they have to fight for, something that is always slipping through their fingers. But the ones who are financially successful see money as something that flows. They don't chase it, they attract it. They don't fight for it, they align with it. They don't operate from fear, they operate from certainty. This is why mindset is everything. This is why preparation is everything. Because money is not emotional. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your fears. It doesn't care about your past. It only responds to alignment, to energy, to action. If you are constantly operating from a place of lack, fear and doubt, money will avoid you. But if you operate from a place of confidence, certainty and preparation, money will find you. It's not about how much you work. It's not about how much you struggle. It's about whether or not you are in alignment with wealth, whether you've put yourself in a position where money can reach you, whether you've made decisions that allow opportunities to flow into your life. This is what the 1% understand. They don't wait for wealth, they prepare for it. They don't hope for financial success, they expect it. They don't let fear stop them. They move with confidence, knowing that wealth is not a matter of chance, but a matter of positioning. Every second that passes, money is moving. The only question is, Are you in position to receive it? Have you done the work, built the mindset, created the habits that will allow wealth to flow into your life? Because the truth is, unexpected payments aren't random. They're not luck. They're the result of preparation meeting opportunity. They happen for those who are ready, for those who have already aligned themselves with the energy of wealth, for those who have made the decision that financial success is not a maybe, it's a must. Most people want success, but they want it on their terms. They want it without risk, without discomfort, without stepping into the unknown. And that's exactly why they never get it. The difference between the 1% who become millionaires and the 99% who stay stuck isn't intelligence, connections, or even talent. It's the willingness to do what others won't. It's the willingness to take risks, to step outside the comfort zone, to move even when there are no guarantees. Because success isn't something that's handed to you. It's something you create by taking action when others hesitate. Look around. Most people play it safe. They take the path of least resistance. They do what's comfortable, what's familiar, what feels easy. And what does that get them? The same life, year after year. The same paycheck, the same struggles, the same limitations. They tell themselves they'll take action when the time is right, when they have more money, when they feel ready. But the truth is, that perfect moment never comes. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be fear. The difference is, the ones who succeed don't let those things stop them. They move anyway. The ones who make it to the top aren't the ones who waited for permission. They're the ones who took the leap before they felt ready. They're the ones who bet on themselves when no one else did. They're the ones who made decisions that scared them because they understood that staying in the same place was even scarier. They knew that if they didn't take risks, if they didn't invest in themselves, if they didn't push forward despite the fear, they would be stuck in the same cycle forever. This is the part most people don't want to hear. They want to believe there's some secret formula, some easy way to get rich, some path that guarantees success without risk. But that's not reality. The reality is, the biggest rewards come from the biggest risks. Every successful person you admire, every millionaire, every billionaire, every game changer, they all have one thing in common. They took risks that most people wouldn't take. They walked away from comfort. They bet on themselves when no one else would. They moved forward even when they didn't know what was on the other side. Think about this. Every single major breakthrough in history happened because someone took a risk. Every invention, every company, every movement. None of it would exist if people had stayed in their comfort zones. The same is true for personal success. If you want to break free from mediocrity, if you want to live a life most people only dream about, you have to be willing to do what most people won't. You have to be willing to take the leap, even when it feels uncertain, even when it feels scary, even when you have every excuse not to. That's what separates the chosen ones from everyone else. The 1% don't wait for life to hand them something. They take what's theirs. They create opportunities instead of waiting for them. They invest in themselves instead of making excuses. They take bold action instead of sitting on the sidelines. And because they do this, they reap the rewards that most people will never experience. But here's what most people don't understand. Risk isn't just about doing something dangerous. It's about understanding that not taking action is the biggest risk of all. Staying where you are, repeating the same patterns, playing it safe, that's a guaranteed way to stay stuck. Most people live their entire lives avoiding risk, but in the process, they miss out on the biggest opportunities. They think they're protecting themselves, but what they're really doing is blocking their own success. Look at the most successful people in any industry. Entrepreneurs, Athletes, investors, artists. They all had moments where they had to take a chance, where they had to step into the unknown, where they had to risk failure in order to reach the next level, and because they did, they succeeded. They didn't let fear dictate their actions. They didn't wait for certainty. They moved, and the universe responded. This is why the 1% become millionaires, while everyone else stays stuck. They understand that fear is just an illusion. They know that the discomfort of taking a risk is temporary, but the pain of staying in the same place lasts forever. They would rather fail trying than live with the regret of never knowing what could have been. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. They see growth where others see risk. They take action where others hesitate. Most people look at successful individuals and think, it must have been easy for them. But what they don't see is the countless times they took risks, the sleepless nights, the uncertainty, the moments when everything could have fallen apart. They don't see the failures, the losses, the setbacks. But here's the difference. The ones who make it don't let failure stop them. They learn, they adjust, and they keep going. They don't let one mistake define them. They don't let fear paralyze them. They don't let temporary losses make them quit. This is the mindset that creates millionaires. Not playing it safe, not waiting for the perfect moment, not living in fear. It's about taking risks others won't. It's about moving forward even when it's uncomfortable. It's about believing in yourself so much that you're willing to do whatever it takes to make your vision a reality. And here's the truth. Unexpected payments, massive success, financial breakthroughs, they don't happen to people who hesitate. They don't happen to people who stay in their comfort zone. They happen to the ones who step up, who take action, who move before they feel ready, the ones who put themselves in situations where success has to happen. Most people never get to this level because they're afraid of looking stupid. They're afraid of making the wrong decision. They're afraid of losing money, of failing, of hearing people say, "I told you so." And because of that fear, they stay small. They stay in the same job they hate. They stay in the same financial situation year after year. They stay trapped in the same limiting beliefs. But the ones who make it, the ones who rise, the ones who become millionaires, they don't care about any of that. They care about their future more than they care about temporary discomfort. They care about their vision more than they care about what people think. This is why success isn't for everyone. Because not everyone is willing to do this. Not everyone is willing to face uncertainty. Not everyone is willing to take risks that might not pay off immediately. Not everyone is willing to trust themselves enough to bet on their own potential. But for the ones who are, everything changes. Wealth becomes inevitable. Opportunities become endless. Success becomes a way of life. This is the real difference between the 1% and the 99%. It's not luck, it's not connections, it's not special circumstances. It's the willingness to take risks that others won't, the willingness to move forward when others hesitate, the willingness to step into the unknown, knowing that staying in the same place is the biggest risk of all. Money is energy. It flows to those who respect it, who understand it, who are aligned with it. But most people don't treat money like that. They treat it like something they have to chase, something that is always out of reach, something that controls them instead of the other way around. That's why most people struggle financially. They don't have a relationship with money that allows it to stay, grow, and multiply. They either push it away with limiting beliefs or lose it as soon as they get it because they never learned how to manage it properly. The ones who become millionaires, the 1%, they don't see money as something to fear or chase. They see it as a tool. They understand its power, and they use it wisely. They don't just spend it carelessly, they invest it, they multiply it, they make it work for them. That's why when unexpected payments come, they're not shocked, they're ready. They've built a foundation that allows money to come in easily and stay. They don't fumble the bag when it arrives because they've trained themselves to handle wealth. Most people think making money is the hard part, but the truth is, keeping it and growing it is even harder. That's why so many people who come into unexpected wealth, whether through an inheritance, a big business deal, or even winning the lottery, end up broke within a few years. They never developed the skills to manage it. They never learned how to make money work for them instead of just working for money. They thought the money itself was the solution, not realizing that wealth is a mindset first. Look at the people who stay rich, the people who don't just make money, but keep it, grow it, and pass it down for generations. They think differently. They move differently. They don't treat money like a short-term win. They treat it like a long-term game. They understand that wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep and how well you use it. Most people don't operate this way. They get a little extra money and their first thought is how to spend it. They upgrade their lifestyle, they buy things to impress people, they act like the money will keep flowing in forever. And then when it stops, when an emergency happens, when life throws a curveball, they're left scrambling, wondering where all their money went. That's the difference between the 1% and everyone else. The 1% don't just think about today, they think about the future. They think about how to make their money work for them, so they never have to worry about running out. Money moves based on how you treat it. If you treat it recklessly, it will disappear just as quickly as it came. If you respect it, if you nurture it, if you use it wisely, it will stay with you and multiply. That's why financial literacy is one of the most powerful things you can invest in. It's not just about making money. It's about learning how to use it properly. The ones who understand this don't get excited about making money just for the sake of spending it. They get excited about using money to create more opportunities. They put their money into assets, into investments, into things that generate more income instead of just draining it. They don't see money as something to blow on temporary pleasures. They see it as a way to build long-term security, freedom, and impact. Think about this. Every dollar you get is a decision. You can spend it on something that disappears, or you can use it in a way that makes more money. Most people don't think about money like this. They make decisions based on emotions, based on impulses, based on trying to look successful instead of actually being successful. And that's why they stay stuck in the same financial cycle, year after year. But the ones who truly become wealthy, the ones who enter the 1%, they make different choices. They delay gratification. They invest in knowledge, in skills, in opportunities that set them up for long-term success. They don't spend money to prove anything to anyone. They don't waste time trying to impress people who don't matter. They use money to create more wealth, more freedom, more control over their lives. And that's why money keeps flowing to them. They've positioned themselves to receive it, to manage it, to grow it. They've built the habits and mindset that allow them to handle any financial situation, whether it's an unexpected windfall or a downturn in the economy. They don't panic when money moves because they understand how to control it instead of letting it control them. This is why financial discipline is so important. Because wealth isn't just about getting lucky, it's about being prepared. It's about knowing how to handle money when it comes so you don't lose it as fast as you got it. It's about making smart choices, about thinking long-term, about putting yourself in a position where money works for you instead of you always working for money. Most people want financial success, but they don't want to do what it takes to keep it. They want the rewards without the responsibility. They want the lifestyle without the discipline. But it doesn't work that way. Money follows rules. It follows structure. It follows those who respect it and use it wisely. That's why the rich get richer, because they understand the game and they play it correctly. The ones who make it don't rely on luck. They don't sit around waiting for the next big opportunity to fall into their lap. They take control of their financial future. They study wealth. They learn how money works. They take action that puts them in the right position to receive and sustain wealth. That's why unexpected payments don't just come once for them. They keep coming because they've built the systems, the habits, and the mindset that allow wealth to keep flowing into their lives. This is why some people seem to have endless opportunities while others struggle. It's not random, it's not magic, it's about preparation. It's about making sure that when money comes, you don't just spend it, you use it, you multiply it, you put it in places that grow instead of disappear. That's why the 1% stay at the top. They don't just get money, they keep it, they grow it. They make it work for them so they never have to worry about losing it. Look at your own financial habits. Look at the way you treat money. Do you respect it? Do you manage it wisely? Do you think long-term? Or do you let short-term emotions dictate your financial decisions? Because if you don't control money, it will control you. And if you don't manage it properly, it won't stay with you. The ones who become millionaires, the ones who build real wealth, the ones who see unexpected payments flow into their lives, they understand this at the deepest level. They don't let money slip through their fingers. They don't let bad habits drain their wealth. They don't fall into the same traps that keep most people broke. They take responsibility for their financial future, and because of that, wealth keeps finding them. Money doesn't disappear, it just moves. And it moves toward those who are ready for it. It moves toward those who know how to handle it, how to grow it, how to use it in a way that creates more wealth. That's why some people always seem to have more opportunities, more success, more financial freedom, because they've built the habits, the mindset, and the systems that allow money to keep flowing to them.